and I'm just totally making this up, but you replace the fiberglass insulation in the attic, you guys could save, $1,000 a year kind of thing.
Fine with me.
That's what I think of the intent.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear about my concern.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't want it to get into a deal later
Oh,
with
yeah,
friends
no,
of
it's
Maplewood
not,
versus,
And it's, if we go through with this and we get X suggestions, we don't listen to any of them. We could listen to some.
Okay.
They could, I'm sure there'll be a list of, 20 things, some on it, and we could say, this is going to have an impact that we don't want to take, this is going to be negligible, and then,
Deal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all, yeah.
Deal. That's why I responded. I just wanted to be clear from the onset.
I think the window example you used was right.
That's
No one's
exactly
looking for
my,
beautiful
that'll be the first
windows
place. That's the
now.
first
No,
place.
not at all.
The old wooden door.
Of course, we know
You know,
it's
I
going to
mean-
be problematic.
Okay, as long as we're all clear and we talk this through, I'm fine.
And like, the example I use, like I said, let's say they say, and we find we can replace the installation for part
And
of
we can't
anything.
change it, we can't add anything now?
What do you mean?
You could call, I don't believe, the
No.
deadline was firm,
Okay.
but, if it's something similar with one of these, we could call...
The aeration, the thing is,
Right, well, I talked to Michael about that.
Yeah.
So your email, he mentioned in the past,
yeah.
he's basically already done all the legwork, and he
Yeah.
feels confident that it would be a good fit, but this can't fund the purchase of anything.
Okay.
So it's just like, if we wanted to do a study and see if it would work.
But it might fit under another one, when I tell you about the other Dave Church meeting I went to,
Okay, perfect.
where I think we might be able to find some funding for that,
Good.
which would be great. Okay.
Everybody, how about everybody, all right, we'll go to now, how about the sewer plan? I think everybody's pretty much on.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
of course.
okay. All right,
So we're okay?
we're okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Anything else, Don?
It's involving potential litigation, so I'll wait.
Yeah, we'll wait till that.
I went to a meeting with David Church. I was contacted by hold on, they have such names, I want to make sure I get the right name.
Sure, give him the right title.
This is the Mid-County Study Group. What an evasive name, huh?
Yeah.
Are they under the county or independent?
They are under the county. They are the ones who are in charge of bringing municipalities together, hopefully multifaceted. Number one, it's one of Dave Church's 16 hats, One is the feasibility study update on their plan to loop all water systems and develop new water systems in their mini loops. And they have contacted this is why they contacted me, every water commissioner to see about each municipality's interest in participating. They discussed the fact that, the village of Goshen now has water, and they could, I listened, I was very good, and I listened. Yeah. And I reminded them, because they are in charge of making the recommendations to the Orange County Water Authority, that all the 20 years that I had been going to Orange County Water Authority meetings, asking them, telling them with your $14 million once the initial water loop was gone, help small municipalities. We are the ones, you know the ones who run out of water. It was Washingtonville at that point. Here, places that were in dire need of assistance. Not one said, not one helping hand at any time about looking for all these wells and the development of these wells once we secured them, which only took us 15 years?
Yeah.
On top of all that, they're now saying, well, sharing is our ideal. Now, I was immediately exceedingly concerned because we know we have water, fantastic water from these two wells, and have gone through and still going through this entire convoluted state approval process, and have an agreement with Wallkill that in the case of dire need, because that was part of the agreement when we originally set it up, in dire need, if we have extra, that they would be the ones that we would help out.
Yes.
I will, of course, copy you on what they're suggesting once I get it typed up, once they type it up. I see no benefit to us, but I'll certainly let you all draw your own conclusion. We already have a friendly neighborly agreement with Wallkill because they're the ones we cut the deal with to get that site for the CRV wells. I'll copy you on it, and so you can all draw your own conclusion. But I spent a lot of, but then they go to the next thing, which was the initial reason that I really wanted to go, was the transportation study by the state. 2 levels, and they are very, very, I told them to make a crib sheet. I told them to make a little multicolored. This is the state talking about the future of 86 and its exit, which is one subcommittee of the state. The man who was there to talk about getting input. He is a PR man. They've hired a PR firm. Now, I was aware of these people, and the reason that I was hot on going to this was, as you know, I have my little place in Sullivan County where they were functioning as well, doing 86 because 86 is being completed up there. They did such a horrific job of communicating with the public. I mean, absolutely horrible job of communicating with the public. And there, even more than here, it was people losing their businesses, losing their homes, losing, I mean, it's tremendous impact. So I said to him, who makes up your committee of people you're getting information from? Michael came with me. I was down in his office. I told him I was going. He said, let me come with you. I went to the initial meeting for this. They have taken, and this is the state, not the county, is the ombudsman of this water and transportation, but the state was there to present a status report. Their status was that they lost their funding, but that they are moving ahead with their firm that they hired to help them with dealing with the public. And they displaced all the village representatives and replaced them with town representatives.
In Goshen?
Everywhere in the county. Monroe was, DPW guy was there, Michael, all these people were originally on that committee. And they've all been displaced by the town DPW, or in the case of Goshen, they sent Neil Howling. I thought that was rather odd, and I said to him, the cities and the villages are the hubs of your population. They should be the one, at least some, should be the ones sitting on it.
Especially one that the road goes through.
No kidding. Right through the village and 3 exits. And I was firm but courteous because, you have a division in this county. There were several members there from Weweyanda who are delighted about everything that's going on because they're not in the hub.
Yeah.
Whatever they're getting, the attention and the financial aggrandizement that they're receiving are changing their lives. And we're talking about a big development going up, where the new hospital is, and then you have the Orange County Golf Club, and behind that they built a condominiums, 800 houses, strip malls going in back there. Town of Weweyanda. Town of Weweyanda. So I asked the man from the state, and this was his first public speaking to a group. He was very nervous. Everyone was very kind, but I said to him, you take off the seats of your population, you put the townships in. Is that because of, state, county, town, village? I mean, what's your foresight here? I don't get it. And on top of that, I said to him, if you want participation, you want it to come from the cities and the villages.
Sure.
I mean, he said he would bring it back and consider it. Then I said, okay, are we talking about, it's about time you could hook up with us. The last conversations we had with the states, when they showed us their plans for what was going to happen to our exit, came to a dead halt. Yes, Scott
Geiger.
Geiger, Liebert was the insurance guy. Scott Geiger came down and said, this is it, that's it, and then they ran out of funding. They're in the same status, but they appear to be moving forward. So I asked for a status report. Let us know what's going on. Are you planning on closing down any of our exits? His answer was, that's a different form of the state, but I requested that Scott be at the next meeting. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that happens.
All right,
What?
we don't have anything from the audience.
All right, so that's the status. A lot went on. Oh, one last thing.
Sure.
Under their green and being able to get funding from the water authority, if you can come up with something that you're doing to ameliorate a problem, and it has been since from this forward, they will see if they will grant funding. So Michael and I brought over his application for the leak survey that we did, which was 3,000 plus, and they're gonna cover it.
Oh,
So we'll get the
That's right, Mike.
3,000 plus back,
That's
and
good.
I told Dave Church that I was going to apply for the directional board
Oh,
over
absolutely.
here and see if we can get, he said, give me the,